From Boston, Massachusetts, to Adelaide, Australia, and everywhere in between. Talking local and national sports and just about anything discussed in a tavern. Broadcasting from South Lyon, Michigan. Welcome to Easy Speak at Speakeasy 330 with your hosts, Rich and Tom.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Hey, I think we
Hump day.
I think we finally got to figure it out. I think the live stream is figured out a little bit.
Well, if it's not, we'll know here soon enough when we start getting
and I want to
text messages. I can't hear you.
Yeah, and I do want to apologize to everybody that hopped on Sunday. We did have a good guy with us, and I felt really bad because that was my first time, I guess, in a producer type role. And I'm not going to lie to you. I fucked up.
Well,
I dropped the ball.
It's trial and error. And I think we made the decision at the last minute that we wanted to go live, and we didn't, test the bugs out or what they say. And it went off with a hitch, but that's okay.
Yeah, the audio worked good for the podcast, which was nice. I do feel kind of bummed out because I let you down, but really it doesn't mean shit, but I did let you down. Yeah,
the guest was awesome. And, it sounds like he'll be on again. And when he comes on again, we'll definitely have it down to a science. But Rich, you're too hard on yourself. You're doing all the technical work behind the scenes, we'll say. I'm just sitting here with the microphone in my face, so you're the one doing all the work. So
just to let everybody know, I'm the guy who gets the sound drops, I'm the guy who uploads, I'm the guy who downloads, I'm the guy who manages the live stream action.
I will do the research, and I will send him all the links to get all that good stuff. But it works. I think we got a good thing here, and the further we go along, I think I'll start to pick up the little tricks of the trade.
And the time will come. I mean, and that's one of the things that's I'm going to have to kind of nurture you into that.
Yeah, little baby steps.
But I'll get you there. But however, we got somebody that had already said something who said, "What's up, fellas?" So we're going to say a shout out to my man over here.
Jorge.
You got George taking a look at it and everything like that, so that's good. So
you got George Jackson, who's conducting his live auctions as we speak.
Oh no, his live auction doesn't start, I don't think, for another 30 minutes.
Okay.
He was the guy that was on with us two weeks ago, talking about sports cards. And I tell you right now, that episode was absolutely banging on the analytics.
And if you were into that episode, have no fear. There's some things in the works potentially.
Oh, for sure.
For iLogic Media.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, there's a lot.
It could involve our two buddies that we're on, and will definitely be a huge pickup if we're able to do something like that. But there are good things on the horizon.
For sure. Yeah, and George, he's just, a wealth of knowledge when it comes to that topic, and hopefully, and I'm gonna help kind of guide them along and get them involved with it and stuff like that.
And I'm just gonna watch.
You're gonna watch.
I'm just gonna watch because I'm pretty good at that. So
yeah, you're gonna watch, but I'm gonna do that. But I also do want to give a shout out to iLogic Media.
Yes,
Jonathan's been a wealth of knowledge and help for us personally.
Oh yeah,
on trying to diagnose some of the issues that we have had with live stream. He's also been a guy to bend his ear on different ideas and different topics and everything like that.
We've been with him for a couple of weeks, and he reached out to us, and we're very thankful. And he's been always available whenever we have a question. If we had to jump on a Zoom call, he was always there, and we definitely appreciate the help. And we look forward to building this network to its fullest potential. There's a lot of cool stuff happening.
Definitely. And some of the other guys, since we joined up with these guys, and we've kind of I'm not going to sit here and pat myself on the back, but every time one of the guys pops something, I'm saying, hey, I got this show going on. We follow each other on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and all that other stuff and like that. I'm all for it. You know what? If I believe in it, I believe in those guys.
Sure.
Chappie does a good job. He's got a lot of good good knowledge on like fantasy sports and like that. They have another thing that's coming up here shortly when it comes to fantasy sports. I'm not privy to announce that just
Stay
yet.
tuned. That's all we'll say is stay tuned. If you're into fantasy sports, primarily football, in baseball, get ready.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
This network is about to really unleash hell
and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
And what I really like about it is the diversity between, it's not just geared towards sports. They have other shows that are coming. The show I listened to on Monday, Whiskey and History, I loved it. The Bar Talk, Bar Talk is great. And, for those of you who want to look at whatever, we got a coaster here from the Relief and Resource.
It's Fenton, Michigan's own.
And we're going to get out there shortly. I think next month we have
John does an amazing job out there. His drinks are second to none. When you go there, you're not only getting a world respected cocktail, you're getting an education on where that whiskey came from and how it's made, and it's an experience. Everybody needs to check it out. Get out there at the old El Topo in Fenton, the Relief and Resource,
and hit the Pringles machine.
Hit the Pringle machine. We won't say which one. You got to figure that out on your own. But anyways, yeah, definitely a cool show to check out. Yours truly made a guest appearance on the history, Whiskey and History at the very end. Apparently my sound wasn't on, but hey.
Did you have a whiskey with them though?
Well, I had one poured.
Oh, come on, man.
I couldn't find a shot glass. So I had a little mini red Solo cup, but
come on.
I did enjoy a Yingling while I was watching.
Well, that's good. I mean, at least you toasted with the fellas and like that.
Yeah.
And that was their first episode, and I really expect, and I know what's going to happen. Bigger and better and greater things are going to come out of those guys, and I wish them nothing but the best of success.
Oh, for sure.
So Wednesday. So I'm not going to sit here and say this is going to be an every Wednesday deal where we're going to do a live stream every Wednesday. I'm hoping,
right,
but I can't guarantee it. But
things are looking positive in that regard.
And what I really like about it is, sometimes when we do our show once a week, we're like 6 days behind the eight ball when it comes to stuff. Doing a midweek one is good, and this week happens to be really good for us in terms of we're able to keep up on the sports front when we come to it.
Yep.
But first, I want to say first and foremost that our episode is brought to us by Shorts Local Light, which is on tap in the old Speakeasy.
Speakeasy got some new lights last night.
It looks dynamite in here.
And I'm going to say this, that Jonathan inspired me to put these lights up because he did make mention of the Speakeasy on the Whiskey and History. And I felt like it needed more of a old school type of touch up. So we hung some cool lights up here. So we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, it looks good. So yesterday, let's talk about yesterday.
Oh.
I did not have a chance to watch the game in its entirety.
You didn't miss anything.
But it wasn't good.
I'll tell you, I think Michigan fell victim to
hype,
a little bit of an overhype. And I think Illinois, or as Christina likes to call them, the Fighting Illini. I think that they felt a bit slighted. Like once Michigan came back, they, the whole thing was, Michigan was dodging Illinois, and they came out of the chute, out of the COVID protocol. And you thought that Michigan was going to go into that game coming off, huge wins this past week against Ohio State, Wisconsin, Michigan State in the last couple of weeks, and they forgot how to play basketball for one night.
Yeah, and my feeling behind that loss, even though it's tough, and I mean, I don't know about you, but I follow Twitter. I don't really comment on a bunch, but I read a ton.
Right.
There was a lot of shit talk, needless to say, about
Michigan fans.
That.
Michigan fans were definitely on the shit train as far as Illinois fans go. But I will say this: that is a loss that will stick with them for quite some time. losing by 23 at home. They got frog stomped.
Oh yeah,
we'll say.
It wasn't good.
They couldn't shoot,
Mhm.
and I tell you what, I was real close to throwing the remote against the TV of all the second chance points that Illinois got. It seemed like in the second half, for the first 10 to 12 minutes of the second half, Illinois was getting 2 to 3 offensive rebounds almost every possession, and I was losing my shit. But I think it's a learned lesson. I think Juwan will have those boys ready to play tomorrow against Michigan State.
They got 2 big ones coming up.
But if you're going to lose a game, and this is what I did read a lot today on Twitter, if you're going to lose a game, you lose a game now. You get that bad taste out of your mouth. You get that feeling like, holy shit, that was bad. We need to clean it up. I think they need to look in the mirror and realize they are not invincible. And I say it now, I might eat crow at the end of the week. I feel bad for Michigan State, the Fighting Ishbias, because they're going to get their asses handed to them. And I say this at the night before. I'm pretty confident Michigan State's going to come out and beat the living shit out of them tomorrow. And, well, I guess, sorry, Jeremy, who's a Spartan
my buddy
fan.
Jeremy.
Or I'll just go off and say Mr. George Jackson, who's listening right now. Sorry, him and Pat, but
he's commenting right now.
I think the Fighting Ishbias are going to go down, and they're going to go down bad. So, but you know what? If they lose, if Michigan loses tomorrow, I'll eat crow.
George Jackson, he said disappointed, and he said this next was his next one. He said, oh boy. Oh, George.
Hip, hip.
Jorge.
Oh.
But, and that's the thing is, like, when it comes to that, it's college basketball. And I'm not a big fan of the pro basketball, but I will watch college basketball when it comes March. That's when
right.
That's when the rubber meets the road when it comes to that. And these are the matchups that you want. These are the matchups that you feed off
Well,
of.
it just proves to you that the Big Ten is the most dominant conference in college basketball, and it's not even close. I mean, you got Illinois coming in at 4. Nobody was talking about them. They're ranked 4th, and they have every right to clean up the floor. And everybody was already giving Michigan the win, but they showed it to them. But let's just say that loss last night completely rearranged show topic for today. I think we were going into this week thinking, oh man, it's going to be
that wasn't even in the realm of what we were going to talk about, but it happened, so that gives us something else to talk about.
So you saw something yesterday that you didn't see all year from Dickerson. He played a terrible game. He got close to fouling out. He didn't have his best game. And I blame it on the stupid haircut he got before the game. He looked ridiculous. I don't know what he was thinking.
George replied back, little sister trash talk. Come on, man.
But
hey, George, if you're listening to me right now, just know I'm the guy that's going to help you. Be nice.
Yes. But, I mean, my second point, and I think this really came out in full force yesterday. Do they have enough on the bench? And I think yesterday proved they better get their act together, because their bench didn't come through. Their starters didn't come through. Mike Smith was nowhere to be found. Isaiah Livers, it looked like he turned his ankle in the second, but he didn't have his game. Eli Brooks, he looked okay, but all in general, they just looked bad from the start.
Yeah,
it was a bad game, and I think everybody's entitled to a bad game. They're 18-2. I'm not gonna freak out, because it is still the regular season. They're gonna win the regular season Big Ten championship. That's a given. Get the loss out now. Move on.
For sure.
I mean, one of the points I had: who can knock them off in the tournament? I think yesterday's game proved anybody can. And
I mean, it's kind of one of those adapt and overcome things, and I just don't think that Michigan, and it's no disrespect to Juwan Howard. I just don't think that. I think that the hype is what really.
Well, they got a little ahead of themselves.
The hype, it's kind of like one of those, and it's funny because you can do live stream now because everybody can see how animated I am with my hands when I talk. But, it's like their head just kind of
I
went
don't
like
know what
this.
to do with my hands.
Like the head just went like this big, and it's like, I think they're going to be okay.
They're going to be fine.
I'd rather get it out of the way right now.
He's proven,
Andrew, no thanks. No bucks whatsoever.
He has proven to the college basketball world, after getting, mollywopped against the Golden Gophers earlier in the season.
Yeah, exactly.
He got them boys ready to play, and I think the same will be said for tomorrow, and that's why I gave the warning to Mr. George Jackson. Watch out, those Fighting Ishbias are going to get what's coming to him.
Well, you got a friend of yours on here who said "Go Bucks." So,
yeah,
he might as well take that. He might as well take that shit south of Monroe.
Here's a guy born and raised in Michigan, who represents the scarlet and gray like my father. Not really sure why. My dad is from the flat state of Ohio. So he has every reason to be, but Mr. Latin with 2 N's, not sure about his allegiance to the program, but to each his own. He's a Buckeye slappy, and I expect everything back. But we all know who beat the living shit out of them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and
enough said.
I mean, that's
on the basketball court. We're not talking about the football court.
Yeah,
football field.
We're gonna have to wait till next November to talk about that.
Which transitions us. Speaking of the football
Michigan
field, they picked up a pretty big time recruit, Will Johnson. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. That there was definitely a concern around these parts whether or not they were going to be able to land him. He definitely took his time. And I think he drove his father, Dion, crazy, who played here in the early 90s.
His dad probably went to bed sweating through sheets.
Well, it reminded me of the story hearing about Chris Spielman and his father. Spielman wanted to play for Bo Schembechler. And Chris Spielman's father said, "You go to Michigan, you never talk to me again."
Yeah.
And so I think there may have been one of those situations like that to where Dion said, "Okay, well, you go play down the toilet bowl, or down in
the toilet seat,
or down in Roll Tide, and okay, don't plan on ever coming back to the GP because you ain't welcome." So definitely a big pickup for Michigan, and it sounds like the transfer portal is a potential hotspot for the Michigan defense as well, who is they're definitely loading up. But again, that's nothing new around here, loading up during the off season, and that doesn't seem to ever come to fruition.
So Mr. Jackson said, and I quote, "Here we go, Michigan recruits."
And
I roll and crying emoji.
And George Jackson,
he's just
did you not hear what I said? They get the high recruits, but they just don't seem to know what to do with them,
or they don't stay.
They waste them. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
So,
and then another comment that we got here is Derek said, "So glad we got the Upper Peninsula and got rid of Toledo."
Well, you know what? Most of Toledo are Michigan fans, anyways.
A holy Toledo, right?
Yeah. Who?
Best thing that come out of Toledo, Tony Paco's.
I've never been.
Some call it overrated, but it really got its claim to fame during the television show
MASH. Yeah. So, which kind of a little spinoff here.
Now here we go.
If you guys have not been privy to the Twitter and the Facebook, we are taking the show on the road this Saturday. We're going to the butchery.
Show is going on the road.
Yes, first show on the road. So we're going to sampling some of Chef Dave's delicacies. So with that being said, maybe we could do a one of our shows down at Tony Paco's one of these days.
Well,
cross state lines.
Well,
since I've never been.
So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to call them. We're gonna have to try to arrange something or another,
right?
And allow them, for them to allow us to do something of the sort. I mean, I'm for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for it. And and that's one of the things that I kind of wanted to bring up a little bit is that I mean, I have a lot of friends who are business people like that. Anybody who wants any free advertisements of
Sound
any
the
sort,
alarm.
if anybody wants any free advertisements of any sort, like, hey, I know a lot of realtor friends. I know people that own businesses or like that. Feel free to reach out to us. Let us know. We're more than happy to plug your business in.
Absolutely.
And if it gets you one guy, if it gets you no guys, it doesn't cost you a dime.
Right.
At all. But I'll tell you right now. So let's get back to talking about food for a second. So this is how it all transpired. One of our Twitter followers said, "Hey, look, let's go to the butchery on Saturday. It's sandwich day. We're going to do sandwiches." Now, let me tell you. So Chef Dave is pretty much the guy who makes it all happen at the Woodward Sports Network Smoke Show. Yep. I've been there personally on a couple of occasions and bought some of their burgers.
His 3B burgers.
Oh, and they are unbelievable. That's how they are. So,
hey, boy.
So I just, and I just commented back and I said, "Hey, look," I said, if you're willing to have us, I'm willing to come out and do a show. So coming up this weekend, we're going to do a show on Saturday, a live stream at 12 o'clock noon
live from the butchery. We're going to be talking sandwiches. We're going to be talking food. We're going to have guests, whoever wants to come on.
Yeah, anybody that wants. We're
going to shoot the shit.
We're going to have our mics up.
Yep.
Anybody that wants to come, we're going to probably do maybe like a 45-minute to an hour segment. But that's not all. We're also going to have somebody. We have a guest coming in who wants to talk hockey with us.
Loaded weekend.
Yeah, so we're going to do one on Saturday and one on Sunday. So it's going to be kind of a double header, You're
going to get to see these ugly mugs.
I know, isn't it?
Two more times this week.
And I tell you right now, I have a friend of mine, and John is a very dear friend of mine. Says, "You know what?" He goes, "You have the perfect face for radio."
Yeah,
because nobody sees it.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Well, now they're seeing it. I don't know if they're deciding to flip their screens down or not.
But guess what now, bitch? Live stream. But anyway,
gotcha.
So let's get back on here. So without going, so
that'll be at noon on Saturday.
Yeah, 12 o'clock Saturday. So if anybody wants to come up, it's the butchery. Google it. They're in Sylvan Lake. Easiest way, go up Telegraph, go to Orchard Lake, get off Orchard Lake, make a left, take it down a couple miles. It's on the right-hand side.
Worth the trip.
Very worth the trip. They got some good sandwiches. And also, I talked to Chef Dave, and Chef Dave says, "I'm going to come up with something a little special." So if anybody has any ideas for a sandwich name for the special sandwich, I don't know what's coming up. I really don't. He asked me for my input. I said, I like all sandwiches. Doesn't matter what it is. Drop it in the comments, and maybe, just maybe, that'll be the name of the sandwich of the day.
That would be a treat.
And Derek, I have never met a sandwich I don't like either.
He's looking to double fist the sandwich this weekend.
Or I've been, and by the way, the guy who's up there right now in the comments, it happens to be my brother.
Yes, it's the wiser of the wiser of the Jaspers.
And my brother is a sandwich. Go make me a sandwich.
Go get your shine box.
But hold on. In all seriousness, whatever. Shout out to my brother and my sister-in-law and everything like that. Very hard for them yesterday. They had to put their dog down 13 years. Oreo, great dog.
Sorry to hear about that, Derek.
Lived an absolute great life. Was well taken care of by my niece and my nephew, Andrew and Katie. But I know that they're very heartbroken and everything like that. But just know, anytime you want to get a dog, come over and take Clyde for a weekend. That's all I'm saying.
Sorry for your loss, Derek. I know that's very difficult. I've been dealing with a sick dog here for the last couple of months. So,
Jeremy, we could name it after me. A face for radio. That could be a good one.
The Jaspa.
Exactly.
JASPA.
Well, that was from Jeremy. And now Jeremy's a very old friend of mine from back in my high school days.
Another
great dude.
Another fan of the Fighting Ishbias.
Yeah. Great guy. And it was funny because I've actually witnessed him and his wife's relationship blossom from such a small infant stage.
Where's the cry button?
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. That's what I'm gonna say. That's all I can say on that. But anyway,
there we go.
Jeremy's a good dude. love him to death. He's just a great guy.
Okay, let's get back on the rails.
And Jeremy loves me too.
Oh, what a good guy.
So anyway, and Derek also said thanks.
Oh.
So let's get back. So Michigan also hit the transfer portal. We kind of really went off the rails on this, but Michigan hit the transfer portal. They went after a guy by the name of Alex Bowman, but I don't think he is going to be in the competition running for the top two that we got over there.
So whenever I have a question when it comes to the University of Michigan football, there's one guy I reach out to, and that would be Mr. Andre the JP Giant, who you have heard on these airwaves in previous episodes. And I expressed my concerns like, okay, what are we doing here? And this is something Harbaugh's definitely done in the past, bringing in grad transfers, Jake Rudock and whatnot. But you got a guy that kind of, he earned a spot by, with Cade McNamara last year. And then you got J.J. McCarthy coming in this year, who's going to fight for the number one. And what does that mean for those two guys? And he basically said, it's nothing. It's not going to affect anything. It's more or less depth, competition, and the word on the street is potential coaching assistant. And I guess, if you want to come in and learn the offense, Harbaugh is kind of a good guy to come in and learn off of, and it hasn't shown it here, but it kind of made sense because all indications coming in, J.J. McCarthy was going to be given an opportunity to compete for the starting job, and Cade definitely earned it last year. So I think
he did.
Coming into the spring game, it's going to be Cade and JJ 1 and 2, and this Alex Bowman number 3. But if it kind of puts a little competitive fire, under their rear ends, then I'm all for it. But Harbaugh has definitely over recruited some positions and kind of thinking about things a little bit too much. And I think it's bit him in the ass, but maybe that's not the case this year. So we'll find out, but just a little unusual. Definitely when you have a kid coming in that bleeds maize and blue from the IMG program in JJ McCarthy, and, who is stuck with this team through the nonsense and the bullshit and the poor performance of last year. So, but I think they'll be fine. I think JP definitely put it into perspective, thinking that.
JP, never heard of him.
Where's your music? Yeah. We'll have to pull that music out for future episodes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely for sure. We'll have to, but yeah, no, I mean, the guy. I don't think he's going to be an X factor on anything per se.
No.
I just think he's a guy who's going to be more of a depth guy, and it could be one of those guys that who's looking to maybe finish his degree, play a little football.
Maybe he's got coaching in his future.
See, and here's another one. Jeremy just posted: a transfer portal quarterback that earns a starting position over a talent you recruited just ruins the future of your program. And I agree 1,000%. He's a rental player. Only if you have them for a year or two, then the talent you have recruited leaves. You need to recruit, develop, and let them lead you. I mean, that's perfect. The only time that I figure and I feel that it was worthwhile that you had selected a guy out of the transfer portal to come in was when Harbaugh, his first year, he brought in Jake Rudock.
He wanted an experienced guy.
Exactly. And that was one position maybe one area he didn't have to worry about that year because he had a guy who has been under center, who has taken snaps in the Big Ten, and a guy who's been in those positions. And I think that was but some of the other ones that have happened is kind of very mind-boggling to me because you are allegedly supposed to be, as my Sparty fans would say, the
quarterback guru.
The quarterback guru. It really isn't. I mean, he, you know what? Everybody's like, oh, well, he had Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was a stud. Andrew Luck could have went to Toledo and competed and did well, went to the NFL and did the same success he had.
Andrew Luck proved he was smart by getting out of the NFL, but I have heard rumors that he's actually thinking about making a comeback. I don't know if those are true or not. He's been out of the league a little bit too long for my thinking that he might succeed, which kind of led us into This question was the recent success of the basketball team. What do you think that does for the football program? Hearing all and I know I've posted it. Michigan's a basketball school. They're not a football program anymore. And so does that put a fire under Harbaugh's ass? Is that why he, cleaned house with his assistants? And
I don't think so.
And do you think that's kind of a motivating factor going into this next season, that there's a lot of people out there that don't really, the football teams sits in the back seat compared to Juwan and the basketball team?
I don't, and my personal opinion is, I don't think it means for Harbaugh. He's one of those guys where I don't think that really is the motivator behind it. I think he might be getting some more heat from Ward Manuel about the performance of the team
or the boosters.
Oh,
which clearly the boosters run the program, and when the boosters aren't happy, I mean, look at what did he take, a $2.5 million pay cut, which they'll say, well, we took money from Harbaugh so we could give it to some of the assistant coaches.
Pay that man his money.
I don't buy it.
I don't either.
He doesn't deserve $7.5 million, and it's a put up or shut up. But how he got 5 years, that's a whole nother episode. But
yeah,
I don't know. You know what? It goes away.
We could be talking about that for decades.
It goes away if they win the Big Ten. I don't give a shit anything. You start with the Big Ten. I'm sick and tired of seeing Andrew and my dad's team, the down south Buckeyes. I'm getting tired of it. I'm done. I feel like the John Cooper era back in the day. I hate it. It's definitely the last Saturday of November, which is usually right around my birthday time, is usually Depressionville over here, because I'm sick and tired of losing. They've won one game, and I believe it was 2011, the last time Michigan won, and that's pathetic. It has to change.
Man, we really triggered some people on this one. We got a comment from Jonathan saying "Go Green."
Yeah, Jonathan.
Old Danger Cole gave us a "Go Green."
Old JDC is a fan of the Fighting Ishbias as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, JD.
Jeremy's like, is Jimmy approaching Mark D status, ran his course, and is now just hindering his program? I'm going to tell you right now, and I think I said it in a previous podcast, dude, he absolutely jobbed. No, it was the episode with George and Pat, because Pat is an MSU alumni. He absolutely boned that football program by walking out the way he did. But and I also
Antonio.
I'll tell you right now, I even said to those guys, I was like, look, Mel Tucker did a great job with what he had given, obviously short recruiting and everything.
You want to talk about boned?
Oh yeah, he got boned.
Mel Tucker took out that. You know what I'm talking about? He took out that, and I'm not going to do it because Kevin's probably listening, waiting to pick me apart. So we'll just say that old Mel Tucker gave him the.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. You know what? You come in your first year, you beat Michigan, realistically, the only rival in Michigan right now is not Ohio State. It's Michigan State, because Ohio State, we've actually got Thunderdome the last, so it doesn't make a difference.
It's not a rival.
We got a reply from Derek calling them the suck eyes.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Jeremy, thanks for taking the time to listen. We really appreciate it. Watch us two goofballs. We really appreciate it. But we'll be talking to you. We're going to have you on when the junior varsity Spartans want to talk about Spartan football. We definitely have you on.
We'll do a preview.
We'll get Jonathan over too. We'll get Jonathan over. We'll
JDC preview for the Fighting Tuckers.
Oh yeah, for sure. But so anyway, so during the whole course of the week, we put a note out, or I don't even gonna say it's a poll, but it was kind of like, hey, everybody, what is your like your number one moment that you would say in your lifetime when it came to sports? It was a large array. I mean, Derek got on there and said, hey, look, the 1991 Eastern Michigan Hurons, I believe at the time.
They're not
the Eagles, they're Hurons.
They're the Hurons.
But, they had beaten Duke in the first round, and they made a run in the
But he was talking about the year,
I
90. He's talking about the year they went to the Sweet 16.
You got to remember, he's a lot older.
Well, yeah. Well, so am I. So, But anyways,
Yeah.
but what spawned this thinking was, we had the one and only Sean Belegian on past Sunday on our last episode, and we did a show basically almost all on 90s hockey, and it was really cool to see like these guys, Mike Ivasil, Sean, and Rich, just
they were like
their eyes just were like Christmas morning talking about 90s hockey and their greatest memories. And it just got me thinking, I'm like, we should talk about some of the best moments like of our listeners, whether it was Detroit sports or whoever. What are your favorite moments? So we put that question out there.
So we went through and we kind of compiled the list of different things. And we're not going to rank them because equally when we went through them all collectively, Tom and I as a group, we went through them and we were like, this one was cool, this one was cool, but realistically, they all
stand out for sure. They all stand out.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to say probably one of my most favorite ones that I can remember. And it was kind of one of those things where I know exactly.
The 1-0, swinging a fly ball, left field is deep. It's way back. The Tigers are going to the World Series. 3-run walk-off home run. Oh, man. Odoji is around third. He's into a box seat at home. The Tigers have beat the A's 6-3, completed a 4-game sweep in one of the greatest turnarounds in baseball history.
Yeah, so that was probably my, and I remember exactly where I was at that day, that time.
I was in Redford.
That was everything I can remember. I remember exactly where I was at.
I jumped off the couch. As soon as the ball left the bat, I jumped off the couch and I put both of my hands through the drop ceiling.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was a bad repair, but it was well worth it.
Yeah, so that was one of them. So the Ordonez one was the one that really sticks. 2006.
Yep.
I was
22 years.
I was sitting with a coworker. I'm not going to say exactly where we were at, but I was sitting with a coworker. We were watching it, and Mags walked up to the plate, and my coworker looked at me and says, "Game's over."
Well, they put 2 on.
He goes
back-to-back singles.
He just goes, "Game's over."
Yep. Put the ball in play. It's over.
And
but
so
we put it out of play.
Yeah, exactly. So we really didn't know what the. Oh, here we go. Here's the comment. The signing of Jordan Zimmerman was my favorite sports moment of all time. No.
Yeah, Gonzo.
Aaron?
Yeah, Gonzo.
No.
I'm sure that probably was not
you ought to
your
memory. You ought to be. Well, you know what? You're probably younger than me, but still, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
That's my nephew, by the way, Mr. Aaron Gonzalez, is going to be one of Detroit's finest here in a couple of weeks. But your probably best memories when I took you to Tiger Fest, and then we got to meet my favorite band right thereafter, and the lead singer with the big old hook in his nose scared the shit out of you. I remember you left there in tears. But my best memory,
Marilyn Manson?
No, that would be Lejean from Seven Dust.
Oh, okay. Shout
out to Seven Dust because I know they're not listening. But anyways, I know my best memory with him, Aaron Gonzo, huge baseball fan. He played baseball down at Tiffin University. My best memory with him was when I got to take him to a game when he was maybe 5. I mean, the kid knew more about baseball at 3 than most people I do.
More than you?
No, I mean, it was 1 in 1A. But anyways,
Aaron, you probably know more than him.
Now he does, for sure. But I remember telling him we were driving down to the game, and he's like, "Hey, Uncle Tom, where are we going?" I go, "Oh, we're going to see the Wiggles live." And God bless this kid. He was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." And we pulled up to Comerica Park, and the grin on his face when we got to go into the stadium, and I bought his first jersey for him, and that's a memory that I'll always cherish and sticks out with me. But yeah, I'm sure Jordan Zimmerman is not your favorite memory, Mr. Gonzo.
Derek, if I could make it to Lakeland right now, I would. So that, I think we're pretty much in agreement that was probably in our recent memory that we can recall. That was probably one of our
as baseball first and foremost, my love. Yeah, that was a cool period. It's hard to believe it was already 15 years ago, but God, I'd love to have those days back. The team wise, not those days, but the team type. Those were cool days.
Speaking of the team.
Tim Williams in to punt. Averaging just under 38 on 44 kicks this year. Nice high kick, got a little wind under it. And it runs Howard back. Look at that. Oh my goodness. One man. Goodbye. Hello, Heisman.
And researching for that video clip, had to find just the right one. I realized what a missed clip on the first clock, just to Desmond's left. I don't know who it was, but man, oh man.
Yeah, he got lit up.
He got lit up. It was clipping, definitely no call, but probably the most famous punt return in college football history, capped off with the Heisman pose. And
for sure.
That one definitely stuck out in my mind.
I mean, that right there is the one moment that you will always remember.
And if my memory serves me correctly,
is that Keith Jackson that made that call too?
Keith Jackson.
Yeah, Keith Jackson. The guy was
who was
great.
the coach for the Buckeyes? Mr. John Cooper. So I felt my dad's pain. I feel my dad's pain now, knowing what we're going through now. But, those were fun times to be Michigan fans, definitely.
You know what's nice about integrating some videos in with this is because, for those who didn't notice, my beer was empty before that. I was able to get the beer filled up.
Mr. Jasper's not happy when he has an empty beer.
I get cranky. You know what?
Cranky pants over here.
Everybody, you got to see what I'm doing here. I'm like running this board.
They can see.
Board. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
And I'm filling your beer, so it's even. It all works out in the end.
So we went from baseball. We went to football, basketball. I'm not a huge basketball fan. Truth be told, I didn't have enough time in order to break down game film on the Eastern Michigan game. Sorry, Derek.
Derek, I just want you to know I did find video, albeit it was very grainy. It looked like it was somebody's VHS copy from 1991.
It was tracking back and forth.
But I did find it, and I did send it to old Richard, and it didn't make the cut. But we did definitely find the video, and that for a Eastern Michigan alumnus, I do shout out to Leslie, who's a Eastern Michigan grad. I definitely can imagine that being pretty poignant memory growing up.
I'm getting called out on the show right now about me having beer. And it was like, you only had one last night. You're right. I only had one last night. It was a 25-ounce beer at Maze.
It was
for Taco Tuesday.
It was also a Tuesday.
It was Taco Tuesday.
I will admit I was out in the Speakeasy.
It was more than a pint. I'll tell you that.
I was out in the Speakeasy last night getting ready. I had the Boys in Blue on the big TV. I had my Nashville Predators on the one. I had the Wings on the other. Can you say that was the Royal Trifecta fuck? Last night, I had one Yingling, and I was out. Bye. I went back in the house.
one Yingling, I'm done. All right, so, hey, quit getting off topic. Let's go.
That's what we do.
I know it is. We kind of go off the rails a little bit. But so the next memory that I can really think of, and it was mainly speared towards you saying it. And then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? You're exactly right. But this guy, as much shit as this guy gets, he was still very, very awesome.
Isaiah Thomas is hurt down on the court underneath the basket. I couldn't tell what happened.
And this is a tough one. Holding his right ankle, Billy.
Mike Abdenauer, the trainer, is with him, and the Pistons are going to have to call a timeout because Isaiah started to get up. He got up and then went down on the floor.
That Isaiah's coming back in the ball game.
It's been the Isaiah Thomas show, plus an injury to Thomas here in the third. Thomas off balance, basket counts and a foul as he goes into the first row, and he is still limping. He is a game performer. He's got to be hurting and limping, and he continues to put the points on the board for Detroit. Isaiah Thomas has put on a brilliant exhibition of shooting despite an ankle injury in this third quarter. He has been a one-man gang. 3.5 remaining in this period. Thomas with a looper scores. Isaiah's shooting eye still on. He has 16 points in the quarter, 28 in the game.
Yeah, but he's limping noticeably right now.
Thomas goes up, and Isaiah Thomas having an incredible period. He has 35 in the game, 23 in this period. And the shot is good by Thomas. Can you imagine the great performance, maybe one of the best we've ever seen in one quarter in NBA Finals history?
Deserved every bit of that ring.
20. Well, they didn't win the ring that year. They did.
No,
they lost. They lost in.
89.
They lost in Game 7 from a fluke fucking penalty or a foul on Lambeer on Kareem. Kareem went up for the hook. Missed the shot. That they call a foul. I mean, it was a phantom foul. He goes to hit 2 free throws. They go to lose the series on a bullshit call. But
Hey, calm down.
oh, it pisses me out because they should have won. They should have three-peated. But
This guy was like 9 years old and he's freaking out about it. 1980.
well, I mean, yeah, I was.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, I would.
bullshit.
Hell no, I was 12. I was 12 at the time.
But you know what though? For basketball,
11.
for basketball, for me, those were the years.
But
So playing at the Silver Dome, you got that big curtain in the Silver Dome goes right across the middle.
Yep.
You played at the Silver Dome. The bad boys.
Mhm.
You know what? Adrian Dantley was on that team. in the
He was on the 88 team, and they traded him for Mark Aguirre.
Yeah, he got traded to Dallas.
And Mark Aguirre coming in. If you've watched the Bad Boys documentary on 30 for 30, which is fantastic, by the way, Lambeer and Isaiah, we're not happy with that deal because, you know, Mark Aguirre at the time was a scoring king. And basically Lambeer told him flat out, you're not coming here to score. You're going to play defense or you're not going to play.
Oh, yeah.
So, and they they stuck it to him, and he was able to learn how to play that type of game. And that was the difference for them winning in 89. But that game, 25 points, still to this day, is the record for the NBA Finals for most points in one quarter. And you'll never see, in this day and age, you will never see a performance like that where the guy basically could not walk in the second quarter. He goes into the locker room and he comes out and he has the quarter of all quarters.
Oh, yeah.
Just the greatest single-handed performance I've ever seen in my lifetime. And that's special to me.
How special is it?
Real special.
Is it real special?
But I mean, are you going to play my next clip? One of the next year or 2 years later? Sorry,
No,
in 90. Did that not make the cut? Are you serious?
It didn't make the cut because
it's the greatest. It's the greatest shot in Pistons history.
Oh, you talking about 007?
Vinny
Yeah,
Johnson.
whatever.
Vinny Johnson.
The microwave.
When he
Dude, the guy is a 12.7
I don't
career
care.
average. And
If you remember that
he's got his
game-
fucking number retired.
He deserves it.
No, he doesn't.
He was the sixth man on that team for sure.
He fucking hit a bucket at 007 to win a big fucking deal.
He was a defensive genius on the court, and he was the microwave because he heated up when he needed to.
No.
And if you remember that series, which you clearly don't,
No.
he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
No.
And for him to make that shot, to take that shot.
Okay, so you hit one fucking shot.
No,
you missed all the other shots. You hit that shot.
Well, no, he made a career here. He,
No.
off the bench. Well, we agree to disagree.
You know what? And that's the beauty of it is hey,
I
listen.
said it.
Hey, listen. This is my microphone, and I'm going to take it. I'm going to take my microphone and go home.
Bah.
Yeah,
Bah.
but no, I don't. The accolade.
1990 NBA Finals, Game 5 against Portland Trail Blazers. Pistons were down by a point. Vinny goes up, hits a clutch jumper double teamed. You would have seen the video that I sent to him, but anyways, hits it. 0.07 seconds left on the clock, and they go back to back world champions. The first year at the Palace, which sadly is no longer in existence, which is a whole nother topic, but whatever.
He's like, well, you don't like him? No, I don't like him.
Yeah, well,
no, I don't like
whatever.
him. No, I don't.
He was awesome. Vinny the microwave.
You just call me a jive turkey.
I did call you that.
You jive turkey.
So let's shift gears. So are you off your basketball?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, everybody. He's off his basketball pedestal.
But those were great times.
For you,
The NBA changed twice because of the Detroit Pistons in the bad boy era and the going to work era. That's why it's not the same.
all right. So now let's go to one of the moments that
Moving on.
Yeah, exactly.
Shoot, motherfucker.
Hey,
shoot.
even though I can't remember the guy who brought this up, but I always remembered as it was a cough up in the neutral zone by happens to be my favorite
Gretzky.
hockey player.
This was
The great one. And don't you ever call him. He's always known as the great one.
Okay.
Hey, here on this show, he's always known as the great one.
He's the guy that's got a pretty hot daughter. But anyways, and his son-in-law is a good golfer. But anyways,
DJ, good
Eric.
golfer.
Eric, who you'll be hearing on these airwaves on Sunday,
Oh, yeah. That's
requested this
Yep,
this
he's coming
clip,
Sunday.
and I think every Red Wing fan will remember this, no problem.
And by the way, this call is by the legendary Bob Cole. Ready?
Cue the tape.
And Pettyson dropped it back. Gretzky picked it up, couldn't find it. Eiserman is turning and coming in. Another shot, score! Eiserman scores! Detroit wins the game. Detroit wins the series. And they go on. This is over.
Yeah, it was amazing to see his excitement behind that,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And normally he was Eiserman. It was normally a very stoic guy on the ice. A couple times you saw him absolutely go bananas or berserk, especially during the Probert Domi fight. That was awesome when he sat there and kind of made that gesture to Domi because Domi got his ass whooped of the championship bout that went over that.
There might have been a height advantage in that fight,
Just a little bit, but
or who could snort the most cocaine.
But you know what though, Domi can hold his own.
Oh,
though.
sure.
Domi can hold his own.
He had the Napoleon compound.
So that right there, John Casey was a great goaltender back in the day. He started off in the Minnesota North Stars organization, and then obviously he was with that one. He was with the Blues, but the Blues team that year was stacked too.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Brett Hull on it? Was Brett Hull on that team?
I believe so. Gretzky and Hull played together.
Hockey's not my strong suit.
Gretzky, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Gretzky got traded there at the trade deadline or a little bit before that.
That was a huge move for St. Louis. That definitely got them fired up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And Paul, of course, you got to have the CBC stream. I mean,
absolutely.
But anything you can find with Bob Cole that announced it,
Detroit,
I will. Believe
Detroit.
Me, I'm gonna find that clip and play it on the live stream. As long as it's Bob Cole, that's what's gonna happen. But
For
Paul,
sure.
Paul, thanks for coming out and
thanks for listening
and giving us a watch and a listener like that. And we do need to talk about your cards stuff that you had texted me about. We'll get together though. So along with that, since we are talking hockey, I want to probably say, I mean, we've had a lot of other great moments. You know, we went back-to-back champions, 1997, 1998. We won in 2002, 2008,
2007, 2008.
2008, yeah. You know, so we've won a number of cups with the Red Wings.
We used to be blessed around here.
Right now, we're kind of struggling a little bit. But I do want to say this.
RUFF.
Nothing will ever. I mean, you can take as many trips down Woodward. You could do anything like that. I can sit here and confidently say probably one of my fondest moments was on Past Sports.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to call it. Passports. It happened. It was
way back in the day. Well, that would have been 90.
So today's
March 26th, 1995.
1997. 97. Because 96 they lost that year to the Avalanche.
Mm-hmm. The anal munches we used to call them. We used to call them around these parts.
But one of the biggest things, and this is kind of a little bit of a longer clip, but it really encompasses what we like to call revenge, sweet revenge. And
after the hit.
Yeah, so here it is.
Here is Larionov. Avalanche holding the Red Wings in their own zone. Larionov and Forsberg away from the play. Peter Forsberg took a swipe at Igor Larionov. And it isn't often that we see Igor Larionov go, but he did. And now Darren McCarty gets his shots in at Claude Lemieux. And look who came all the way out to try to help. Patrick Waugh. Oh my goodness. You never know when to expect it. Darren McCarty said before. Vernon and Waugh. Mike Vernon with a great left. Follows up with the right. How about this? Lemieux was hammered by Darren McCarty, and he is being helped into the locker room. Two of the best of all time. Known for the
good revenge when it came to those the Draper incident. It really was.
And that game, it seemed like after that fight, that propelled the Wings. Because they ended up winning. That game go to overtime.
I want to believe. And I think
they blew a big lead.
And I think McCarty scored the game-winning goal.
McCarty did get the game winner, and that game kind of propelled them in, to the run that they ended up winning the cup. But definitely, if you're a Wings fan, that's ingrained. That image of him with Lemieux is what does Darren call him? Lepew, turtling. But they ended up fighting the next year.
So we have a comment on here it's on the live stream, whatever. Somebody said #Don Cherry. Oh. I do want to play this just because I know the gentleman that put it on there, and we spent a number of nights there back when we were
at his
19.
establishment. Rich Jasper would actually be getting a boner right now Saturday night on his black and white TV.
Corner with Don Cherry.
Yeah, that was for you, Paul. Yeah, no, Don Cherry, Coach's Corner. That was probably the highlight of hockey night in Canada for me, just because it was fun watching the guy because he was such a personality that was.
Well, you were waiting for what he was going to say next. What?
Yeah, he was outrageous.
Between his comments and his outfits, I think that was kind of his outfits were more colorful than his language.
Dude, if I can have a suit like that, I would.
If you could have the balls to wear a suit,
I wear one. I would.
Well, yeah,
I wouldn't care. I would wear one.
Yeah, I believe that. You're kind of out there like that.
Oh,
you're a little cuckoo.
Ooh. So
cuckoo.
So that was a blast from the past.
Yes,
in memory
lane
and everything like that. So other than that, we got I don't want to blow a ton of it going on because we got so much going on for this weekend. I just want to encourage people to get out there, support local businesses like we're going to do.
Starting Friday here in Michigan, we're opening them up 50%, which compared to 25, I think some of the local self-lined places are going to go 100, but that's for another story.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, definitely get out there and help these small businesses. Take the ride out to Sylvan Lake Saturday to the butchery. Chef Dave what he can do, he makes. Oh,
you can get a hell of a sandwich and a bag of chips for $10. I mean, I'm talking a hell of a sandwich.
I've never wanted to eat my iPad more looking at some of the things that he puts together on his Twitter page.
But and that's one of the things is we do have a couple other things in the works that we're I want to say we're like in collaboration or contemplation on, but we do have a couple other things that are on the docket that we're looking at doing. I can't really say for sure or not because I don't want to put myself in a predicament, but definitely for sure that's what we're gonna look at a couple of different things.
But I will say this: if there's any places out there that we need to check out as far as like sandwich shops or like places that have just an unbelievable dish.
Dude, I have a ton of them.
Well, we're gonna be putting it out there for the listeners. If they have any recommendations, definitely drop us a line on Twitter or Facebook, so we could check it out. We'll just leave it at that
for sure. So anyway, to get going here, I know it's a weekend night and everything like that.
Weekday night.
Weekday night. But anyway, so. First of all, I want to thank everybody that tuned in on Facebook Live.
That was fun. That was good.
If I'm not mistaken, I can check right now and tell you right now, but I think we did have somebody on. We got somebody on the Twitch.
Really?
We got somebody on Twitch.
Oh,
wow.
How about that?
Nobody on iLogic Media.
Get out there and go follow iLogic Media.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot coming. There's a lot coming up.
You guys will be very impressed with what JDC is putting together, and you want to get on it now because it's happening. There's a wave coming. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
There's a storm a brewing.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, hey everybody, thanks for taking the time on a Wednesday to listen to us ramble on and on and on.
Yep.
We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing our buddies on Saturday at the butchery.
12 o'clock.
The
butchery.
I will probably be there right around 11 o'clock, making sure everything's set up and good to go. And then we'll get going there. And then Sunday, we got a guest coming on Sunday. So we got a lot of exciting things coming up, and this weekend. But we also got a lot of exciting things coming up in the next couple of weekends. So
stay tuned.
So on that note,
keep posted on the social medias, and because we definitely update and all that, and we'll see you guys this weekend.
So cool, everybody. You guys peace out. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Easy Speak at Speakeasy 330. You can catch us every week at ilogicmedia.com, Apple, and Spotify. Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Easy Speak Cast for the latest and up-to-date news. Cheers.